remember last year about this time, I bought that $100 E30 for no reason. Well, kind of same thing happened again. So this was $250. I know. Way too much money. But I bought it for a reason. This car, actually back in 2010, I think was the last time I worked on it, but this used to belong to a good friend of mine who's now passed. Before he moved to Austin, Texas, he was up here, and this was his daily driver. At the time, it was in really great shape, had some 17 by 10 BBS RKs on it, which were just huge. Of course, it had a sound system in it, which is kind of the thing of the past, but an early car, so 89 and 90 on the E34 525i. I still had the M20, and this was actually the main reason I bought this car, is it's a 5-speed, so Getrag 260-5, and it has the M20 B25 in it. So these are both getting kind of hard to find in good condition. I'm taking it on faith that this engine does still run. The guy I bought it from said it has no spark. I felt there is a timing belt in it. It feels a little bit slack, so if it does run, I think I might pull some of the stuff off the front and just tension up the tensioner a little bit, because that's a little bit worrying. They do slack up over time, so it's not the end of the world, but again, I bought it for the engine and transmission. The rest of the car, unfortunately, is really pretty haggard. It's actually not all that rusty considering for Minnesota, but I don't know, the exhaust has been hacked off of it. It does have aluminum wheels, 5 of them, so there's some scrap value there, certainly. But today I'm going to try to get this thing going. So like I said, the guy said it had no spark. I grabbed a spare crankshaft position sensor because that's almost always what it is on these cars. They can just fail randomly, so yeah, we'll start there. If not, we'll check relays, and after that, we'll check the engine computer. First things first, throw in a battery in it. Oh man, she's got some miles on her now. 285.7. What is this? Is that a water temperature gauge? Wow. Okay, I'll have to see where that goes. So it definitely doesn't run. Yeah, let's try that. Let's swap out that crank sensor. Let's see if we can't get some chooch out of her. That's that dark blue interior, a bunch of toothpicks. It's pretty gross. Spare valve cover gasket. The sound system has definitely been removed at some point. Early car, they actually splined the steering column differently on these before 1991. So this steering wheel is interchangeable with an E30. Looks like somebody's taken the liberty of removing most of the leather, but not all of it. Pretty common. So in the E34, it's actually in the bottom of that little harness collector there. And an E30, it's right below the diode connector. But since the diode connector is over here on this car, it's a little different. Just let the old one dangle, and we'll see if it really just was a crank sensor. So I don't even know if it's got gas in it. We may have to test for fuel pressure. What else? Things and stuff. I guess I will pull the ECU compartment apart right now, and we'll try jumpering the fuel pump. And beyond that, yeah. No, checking for fuel next. Then I guess we'll check for spark. Troubleshooting, and I'm actually seeing that the coil is cracked, and it has improper resistance between 115 and 4. And it also has a brand new facet crankshaft position sensor on it now. So I'm going to get a new coil, and hopefully that'll make this thing chooch. Wow, it's really cold in here, but the only ignition coil I've been able to find is on my harness in here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that off, and we'll see if this makes her run. And off we go. So I've been double and triple checking everything. All the power and grounds are good on there. I've checked it with the new coil. One thing I noticed though, I was moving the crankshaft sensor back and forth on the reluctor and I was getting the fuel pump to trigger. But if memory serves, the fuel pump's actually triggered off of this little reluctor ring. So I think the sensors might have been plugged in backward. So what I'm gonna do is reattach it and see if we can get some spark. Yeah, I'm thinking we might be able to get some spark because I think they might have been backward. Still no sparks. I wonder if we don't have crank resolution. So way back in the day, I had a 94 530i with a no start condition, and I remember it had the OBC code alarm enabled, and it actually had a blown 30 amp fuse in here. So I replaced that and it started because I could enter the code and wait for the countdown. This car, there's so much corrosion on that OBC, I couldn't get into it. So I came back here and it's actually hidden under here. So you have to disconnect this box and it's actually bolted in right there. But I just unplugged the harness on it, which I believe should work if you forget the code. Don't go stealing people's E34s though. So let's see if we have spark now, because I remember it mimics a no spark condition. Oh. Okay. Bet this thing fires right up now. Suppose I should put this plug in too. All right. Oh, all right then. So I bought a car for no real reason. It's a 1998 E36 BMW M3 sedan. It's a 3.45, so it is a 5-speed. It has intermittent starting issues, and it has a spot of rust right there. But other than that, pretty solid. Silver on black, I think 219K, lower mile engine in it. KWV1 coilovers, Dynon strut bar, Dynon carbon intake. It's got some sort of ECU tune on it. But yeah, I'm just gonna start it up now and move it there because I have no other room for this car. Well, let's see if the intermittent starting issue is intermittent today. Oh, started right up. Oh, that sounded good. I actually meant to check this out last night. Oh yes, it has an adapter harness in it. hopefully that means I can put a factory radio back in this thing without having to cut anything. That's awesome. I do have factory Alpine C33s I can put in this thing, so that'll be nice. Oh no, classic E36 stuff. Only washer fluid. Not bad. It's time to throw in the towel. It's winter tire season. Still ever so crowded in here, but good news is that Cobra's finally gone and nothing is coming back in its place. So that's pretty cool. At some point I will move the Lamborghini over there, which I think will be its sort of home. And yeah, I think the S55 AMG is coming down to live here this winter. So we don't really have any other room for it. But yeah, snow is scheduled for tomorrow and it's not nice out anymore, so definitely snow tire season. It looks so humdrum and boring now. Boo. Since it's inside and relatively warm, I'm probably going to pull all this vinyl off too, since the rally finally happened yesterday. I look forward to 21-inch season already. Did I say I was going to peel this stuff off? Because it's like frozen still, and I don't want to damage my clear coat, so nope, that's going to stay on. I want summer back. And I don't have a full segment on this, but the blue M3 is at the body shop finally, and it's ready to go.